happy Men's Grooming Day, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, online at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you asked your smart speaker, is it Friday yet? And this is what you got. Use the fan text line. It's 503-2-GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use the text line. Use the chat to share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. Are you more excited for the NFL or college football? Lowercase, which professional football league are you more excited about?
I'm juiced up.
It's got to be the NFL.
It's gotta be.
Question.
Let me check my numbers, see where this ranks. We are on to reason number 47 that college football is stupid. I'll give it to you right off the top. Former Seahawks running back to enter college transfer portal. TJ Harden was a running back for the Seattle Seahawks last week. He gets cut. And current Seahawks running back Anthony Hankerson is attempting to get out of his professional contract so they can both enter the transfer portal before September 1st so they can play in this year's college football season. Really?
The first guy, I'm 100% against. The second guy, Anthony Hankerson, well, he's an Oregon State Beaver, so bring him back. Come on back.
Nobody said he's going to go back to Oregon State.
Well, there's no.
There's more money in college football than there is in pro football for left tackles. I saw an article the other day that said as much. Certainly in the endorsement realm, there is not a single endorsement for an offensive lineman in professional football. In college football, there's a guy making $4 million to play left tackle. We don't need to get into all of those details. College football, I've got 47 reasons why it's dumb. We'll keep adding to the list. This is the greatest, or the newest one. Might not be the greatest reason for it, but you combine all of those reasons together. I think we have a pretty good argument against it. Well, we're on the NFL as a topic. I got some bad news if you are a Seattle Seahawks fan and if you really love wide receiver depth. Jake Bobo apparently went down today with what they're calling a serious right knee injury. He was carted off during the joint practice with the Texans today. He's going to go get tests to see how bad it is. Jake Bobo has been a really fun guy to watch. He plays a lot of special teams. He gets out there, makes big catches when you need him. But
that's a great locker room guy.
I can't argue with that. And, well, the Seahawks' best special teams unit in the NFL. Be hard to argue against it. Jake Bobo, a big part of that. So it's not just wide receiver depth. It's also seeing a guy that has been integral in the third phase of professional football, which is special teams. Have him go down is not good. That happened earlier today. We had preseason games last night. Did you catch any of them?
I caught a few highlights. I didn't watch them in real time because, well, I have to prep for my Steelers to play today. It was the Raiders.
You couldn't watch any of Raiders Texans or Niners Chargers because you were prepping to watch tonight's preseason game featuring the Steelers?
Yeah, I went down a rabbit hole last night of being a film sicko. I was watching a whole lot of front seven play out of some offensive linemen for the Chargers and the 49ers.
In fairness, I was watching Hard Knocks instead of choosing to watch that. So I'm with you, and that's my team, obviously. The Seahawks
but both
on
of
there.
Us still. That football bug is still very evident here.
I cannot wait for them to play actual meaningful games. These games, obviously, not that. But Fernando Mendoza, who had a nice outing in preseason game 1, led things off with a pick 6. Not a great outing for the young quarterback. Now, Clint Kubiak still insisting that he has made no decision on the starting quarterback for week 1. Kirk Cousins, Fernando Mendoza, Aiden O'Connell are your guys for it. So he wants it to be competition. He's got another week. Another 2 weeks before he has to make a decision. I don't know if I like this decision. Just make the veteran your quarterback. You're not going to be a great team. And if you are a great team, it's not going to be because you picked the right quarterback. Put the veteran in there. He's healthy. I don't think Max Crosby has broken his arm or rolled into his knee yet, so he's fine. Just, I don't know if I trust Kubiak. First time head coach coming as the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. Obviously, what he did in his 1 year with the Seahawks, fantastic.
You want, again, as an offensive coordinator that became a head coach, you want your offense to be maximized this season. You have to give yourself the best shot. Kirk Cousins most likely going to give you that best shot.
I don't know why you wouldn't. And you don't need to tank this year to try to get the first number 1 overall pick. You've got your quarterback of the future there.
And running back.
Yeah.
And tight end.
The offense, pretty well set. You ended up somehow keeping your pass rushing monster, even though you traded him earlier this season. You've improved your offensive line. Just don't be dumb about it. Now, here's the other thing. The Texans' defense, pretty good.
Still pretty good.
Even without their starters out there. That's the other thing that I think we learned from that game. I think that kind of goes without saying that they have a great defense. But when you don't play all your starters and it still looks really good, they're going to be a problem.
That's a little confidence boost for your depth guys.
They're going to be a problem. That's my suggestion. I don't think you have to worry about them much if you're an NFC team, but unless they make it to the Super Bowl, we'll see what C.J. Stroud can do. What did he do? He did play 4 of 6 for 27 yards. You don't learn anything from that, so who cares? The Niners put up 41 on the Chargers. Now, the Chargers are already trying to figure out their offensive line because they lost their center this week, so Biadasz is out. You're shuffling things around. You have rookies playing in your starting rotation on offensive line. If that is your starting rotation, things don't look good there. But what you're learning is figuring out what they're going to do with weapons. No Brandon Ayuk. You've brought back Deebo Samuel, so you have him out there. Christian McCaffrey has an Achilles and calf strain. It's not a hold in. He genuinely has an injury, which I don't know if that's good. So you're rotating different guys throughout your offense, trying to figure out who your weapons are. Brock Purdy did play a little bit. This guy Stripling that they drafted, looks like he might be pretty good.
Deshaun's pretty nice.
Yeah, might be Deshaun Stripling. The other guy that showed out was a guy named Jacob Cowing. He's a third-year guy for the team. Spent the entire season injured with a hamstring last year. A little 87-yard punt return for a touchdown. Looked pretty good. So that's all I can take from the preseason games that you got last night. Update on something we reported on yesterday. Sam Laporta, uncertain to be ready for week 1. So he had, I think it was a hip injury, and
Correct.
It was something that Dan Campbell went out and said, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It's only 1 week, but if you miss week 1, then you don't know if you're going to be ready for week 2, and every game in the NFL matters. So we'll see what ends up happening with Sam Laporta. But right now, what we need to do is we need to get to our list of top 100 players. I've got 20 through 11. We're counting down right up until kickoff. You've got your list ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Young lowercase. All right, tell me what you think of this. 17 games, 1,621 rushing yards, 5.2 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns, another 33 receptions for 291 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. The 20th best player in the NFL is running back James Cook. True or false?
I love that. I love where he is. I have him at 28.
Okay.
I only have 2 running backs ahead of him. That would be Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley.
Okay. Saquon apparently hates joint practices, but his team is saying that you're going to see a repeat of 2024 with Saquon. We'll see what happens.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Number 19, wide receiver, 17 games, 1,048 receiving yards. That's not the numbers that he's used to putting up, but last year he played without a quarterback, so that's actually pretty impressive. 12.5 yards per reception, only 2 receiving touchdowns. Justin Jefferson is or is not the 19th best player in the NFL.
I've got him a little bit lower on the list. I've got him at 27,
Okay.
but I'm 100% okay with Justin Jefferson still being in the top 20.
Coming off of an ACL injury, only played 14 games last year, 3,500 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, another 422 yards rushing last year, 5 rushing TDs. Patrick Mahomes is the 18th best player in the NFL, yes or no?
I'm 100% okay with that.
Okay.
I mean, that's
He's
multiple-time
dropping spots.
MVP.
You get injuries, you're going to drop a few spots. He's still in the top 20. Seems like a good place for Patrick Mahomes. If the Chiefs come out angry this year after the terrible season that they had last year, remember, he played in a lot of games. They lost a lot of those games. So it wasn't just the injury to Patrick Mahomes that was the off year for the Chiefs,
And
even
again,
though at the end,
he was the reason why they did end up losing some games.
Okay. We're already at 17. I've already got one of the running backs ahead of James Cook that you didn't have ahead of James Cook. 17 games, 1,585 yards, 18 rushing touchdowns, another 46 receptions for 378 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. He plays for the Colts. His name is Jonathan Taylor. Are you okay with him at 17?
Jonathan Taylor is one of the last bell cow backs. I really think there are fewer and fewer of guys like Jonathan Taylor that come across the league. I have him at 34. I have him right behind Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay, so you have him twice as far down the list as the NFL players have him down the list. All right. Is Ja'Marr Chase that much better than Justin Jefferson? 2 spots ahead, 16 games, 1,400 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, 125 receptions last year. Ja'Marr Chase at 16 sound pretty good to you?
I've got Ja'Marr Chase at 12. That's a guy that can really do everything. He runs every route, stops on a dime, is physical with the ball in his hand. That dude could go for 300 yards in a single game, and people wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's wrong. And he's obviously playing with Joe Burrow, who is his college quarterback. They had some success, if I remember LSU correctly, in 2019. They were pretty okay.
They were pretty good.
Dude, that is a combination. He said they wanted to move him to running back when he went to college. He's like, nah, I'm going to play wide receiver. I think that worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, and then was Clyde Edwards-Helaire the running back?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, that was a good choice.
Yeah, that was not too bad. Another running back at number 15, 1,595 yards, 16 touchdowns, only 15 receptions for 150 yards. But this guy, just hand him the ball. It's Derrick Henry, Baltimore Ravens, number 15.
I got him at 11.
Okay.
Every time Derrick Henry touches the ball, you watch.
He's one of my favorite
scary
players to just flat out just watch. Hand him the rock, let him go. I don't think there's any question
That's
about
a true Hall of Famer right there. Possibly the best running back of my generation. I'll say it. He's been doing it longer and doing it more efficient than everyone else.
I am very curious how much he has left in the tank. That's the one thing. I mean, all he does is go out and have 1,500-yard seasons. He's 31, but he looks like he's built to go another 5, 6, 7 years. I guess last year was his age 31 season. So coming into this year, 32.
Derrick Henry shares an elite touchdown and multi-score milestone with LaDainian Tomlinson, matching his record for 10+ rushing touchdowns in 8 straight seasons.
Yep. Yeah. And
only 2 running backs to do that.
Doesn't it feel like he's going to keep going?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's not slowing down.
I guess that's my point. Now, this next guy, I'm not going to pretend that this name jumps off the page at me, but watching the Giants pass rush could be really fun this year. How have the Giants been successful? Remind me their Super Bowl runs. What's the center point of their team?
That would be the defensive line. That would have been Justin Tuck and O.C. Umenyiora.
Let's go back in time. Was there a guy that came off the edge, number 56, when they won their first round
one of
of
the greatest
Super Bowls?
football players to ever play the game, and Lawrence Taylor?
I think so. I think if you can get a good pass rush and you can get a good defensive line, good linebackers, I feel like that's where the Giants have success. At number 14, voted on by players, 67 tackles, 22 tackles for loss, 16.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Brian Burns might not even be the biggest name on that defensive front.
I'm happy, and he should be the biggest name on the defensive front. I have him way, way lower on my list. I have him at 71. I thought he was one of the most underrated pass rushers in the game of football. For him to break the top 20, that's a round of applause because he deserves it.
The bigger names may not be the better players. Kayvon Thibodeau is a name that you hear a lot more often. I'm just giving you the names. I'm not trying to insult Brian Burns. Maybe it's because it's a little more of a generic name, but Abdul Carter is another one. Much higher draft picks, guys that you look at and go, watch out. They get to play alongside this dude, but as we've talked about many times on this show, playing alongside great players makes it a lot easier for you. Number 13 on the list is the tight end for the Arizona Cardinals. 1,200 receiving yards, 11 receiving touchdowns. Trey McBride at number 13.
I've got him at 10. I'm really happy with that. Highest tight end I have on the list here.
The numbers. It's 12 sacks. It's 20 tackles for loss. It's 54 tackles. But the way that he wrecks games. Will Anderson Jr. from the Houston Texans at number 12. Yes.
100%. I've got him at 8.
Okay.
My first defensive lineman off of the board.
All right. It's number 11. I don't know how I feel about this one. Played 17 games, threw for 4,300 yards. That's more than any Bears quarterback in the history of football because no Bear quarterback has ever thrown for 4,000 yards.
Top 10, they say.
No, 11. This is number 11. 31 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, 450 rushing yards. Drake May is number 11.
Drake May up there. I have him at 22 is where I have Drake May.
Drake May? All right, twice as good as what you got him at. Runner-up for MVP.
Let's see what they're at.
I'm very
like
curious.
without a
I'm
running
very
game.
curious. Yeah, I'm very curious what he does this year. All right, that is number 20 through number 11. We will get into the top 10 next week, but right now we've got a couple things that we need to do. One, I need to tell you that Binary Brewing and The Fan have teamed up for the Only Fan IPA that is available for a limited time only. Taste The Fan and Binary Brewing's signature West Coast IPA. Go to Binary Brewing's Beaverton location and ask them about their Only Fan. So good, only The Fan and Binary Brewing could pull it off. Go and take your pick. Go to @FanHappyHour on X. Go to my personal Facebook page, and you can find the link. Pick every single NFL game and do that. At 2:30 today, we have Orion Levine. He is going to be here at Helium this weekend, so we're going to talk to him. He'll be in studio with us. But right now, we need to get to the Daily Buzz. The Mariners add someone to their AAA team and to their big league roster. Very exciting stuff. DeGrom reaches number 2K, and hey, Clay, where are you going to play next NBA season? All that in the Daily Buzz. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
Well, I have been asking for it for how long, Casey? I mean, really, it was supposed to happen on Thursday, but the Mariners were on the road. They have finally made a decision. Tomorrow night, you will see Cade Anderson for the first time with the big league club. He's going to play for not the AAA team, not the AA team. He's going to play for the actual Seattle Mariners. I was talking to freaking Jackson out there, our new, what do you call him, YouTube guy?
Social media
guy. He's at the game. He already had tickets to go to the game on Saturday night. I will officially say that I'm a little jealous of that. But Cade Anderson, the lefty who was picked number 3 overall last year, has been unhittable in the minors, will make it to the big league club. The Mariners are also adding a veteran utility man to their AAA roster. They're adding Andy Ibanez, who a couple years ago for the Tigers was very good in the postseason. He was picked up and added to the AAA team. He's already gone 4 for 8 with 2 doubles in his first 2 games at AAA Tacoma.
Any relation to Raul?
I do not know. I did not check for any relation. I also saw that Jorge Polanco is going to be out for the rest of the year. I think he has to have ankle surgery. So off-season moves tending to work out pretty well for the Mariners. We'll see if this helps anything for a push run.
Not related.
There you go. Just assuming all Ibanez's are related. I mean,
Well,
come
again,
on, Kane.
how fun is it to do the Raul chant in Seattle?
Oh, it's fantastic. I
great.
get that. But, you know, if you're related to a former Mariner, you think that would make the headline.
But you could bring back.
Okay.
You could bring it back.
You could. Do you know who Dane Myers is?
I do not.
Okay, well, we're talking about the Reds. We did this yesterday. Sal Stewart of the
Stewart.
Reds is leading the league in RBI. Well, Dane Myers had not had a single error in 84 appearances this season until last night. Did you happen to catch what could have been the final play in the Reds-Cardinals game?
No, I didn't.
Reds have a 6-5 lead. A fly ball is hit to the gap in left center field, and the center fielder floats over to make the catch. Well, the ball made it to his glove, but didn't stay in his glove. He drops the ball. The Cardinals immediately score 2 runs. They go on to score 6 runs in the inning. The Reds try to claw their way back in the bottom half of the inning and cannot do it. They had the game locked up. Final out, floating out to Dane Myers.
That's their Mariner way of doing it.
It was much worse than Julio's loss or drop of what was it? It wasn't even a drop. He caught the ball, threw it into the outfield. He wasn't keeping track of outs. They were down 19-0. Who cares about that? Don't worry about that at all.
The Buzz.
So, Ketel Marte did a vanishing act for the Boston series. We told you that he was going to get an MRI yesterday. It sounds like he's going to go on to the 10-day IL with knee inflammation for the Diamondbacks. So, the saga that ended up not really being a saga is just turned into an IL stint. If you're keeping an eye on the Seattle Mariners, important to keep an eye on the teams ahead of them. Well, the Rangers go out and get a win. Jacob deGrom, not only did he get a win, he struck out 10 and has now reached 2,000 strikeouts for his career. So congratulations and a tip of the cap to Jacob deGrom. They beat the Nationals 2-0, but the Astros not only lost, they lost in what would be spectacular fashion if the Mariners didn't lose 22-0 earlier this week. The Astros lost 18-3 to the Angels. Zach Neto went 5 for 6, hit his 21st home run, and had 7 RBI in the game.
The deadline's biggest sellers.
Oh, absolutely ridiculous. Garrett Cole found himself moving into 6th place all-time, passing a guy named Roger Clemens on the strikeout list for the Yankees franchise. Anytime you get a Yankees record, I always feel like it's a lot better than any other team's record. So congratulations on that. Okay. Do you know any marks that use a C? M-A-R-C.
No.
Okay, well, I've got 2 of them for you. The Timberwolves.
Maybe Mark Goddard, the UFC ref, but that's about it.
Okay, thanks for that. Minnesota Timberwolves and Lynx co-owner Mark Lore has agreed to sell his controlling stake in the franchises to limited partner Mark Stad, both spelled M-A-R-C. I don't know how the hell that happens, but they're just making a small $4.5 billion transaction. No big deal. So all they're doing is shifting ownership from a minority owner to become the main owner for that. And we'll wrap things up with one more thing from the association. Klay Thompson. He's been released from the Mavericks and is expected to clear waivers and sign with the Miami Heat.
Ooh.
Oh,
They need a shooter.
Go play with Giannis. Well, then no, they don't. They got Bam. He can score 83 points a game. I mean, just count on that every night.
I said shooter.
Oh, fair point. Fair point. So, yes, joining the Miami Heat. They didn't get LeBron, but they get Klay Thompson. I don't know if that's a good door prize, but that's what you get. Let's do this. I've got Orion Levine sitting in studio with me. We'll talk to him about some comedy. Apparently, he's got all the stats in the breakdown of the Little League World Series. He's got all these kids. He's got a big vision board. He knows all the names, all the players. He's way too into it. It's going to be weird, but we're going to do it next. But first, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see what we missed.
First on the fan, is it 2015?
It is not 2015.
Well,
What do you got?
following the Klay Thompson signing with the Miami Heat, 6-time NBA All-Star DeMar DeRozan is expected to sign a 1-year, $3.9 million deal with the Denver Nuggets.
Ooh.
This feels like a blast from the past a little bit, with Klay Thompson and DeMar DeRozan having off-season signings.
Yeah, hey, we'll take it, but I'm sorry, what was the number next to it?
3.9 million.
Yeah, a little different. Even in 2015, that's a small number.
That one's for the mid-range god. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of
There are 4 shows left at Helium. If you want to check out Orion Levine, he is going to be there 7:30 tonight and 9:45 tomorrow night, 7:30 and 10. Doing though that'll be your second, third, fourth, and fifth show. You did a show last night at Helium as well. Oh, well, we need to get your mic probably turned on. There we go.
We were out there. We stood strong against the odds. Thursday night show. We did it. There's 4 more. Please come out.
You said last night was kind of a tough show. This is your first time at Helium.
That's right.
Everybody that has come through our show and talked about it absolutely loves that room.
Don't get me wrong. I love the room.
Yeah.
But I made a big, crucial mistake within 5 minutes of walking out. I talked to a guy in the front row and somehow found out that he was going through a breakup. And for some reason, I took that as an opportunity to kind of interview him about what went wrong.
Oh.
And I kind of dug myself a huge hole to get out of. So.
Well, and you survived.
I did survive. We prevailed.
Sometimes that's a move.
Yes, he forgave me.
Okay, well, fantastic. Did you talk to him after the show?
Yeah, he had a great time. It was
Give him
fun.
a fist bump.
Yeah, he wasn't the one that was like the most. I think everyone else was uncomfortable about it, but he was fine.
Perfect. So the one guy got a great show, and
Exactly, there we go.
Sometimes you go out and you do stand up, and there's one person that enjoys it, and you just make sure that everybody else tolerates it.
Yes,
That
I'm
happens.
performing for one person at a time. So.
Hey, listen, you do that enough, and you can win over the entire country.
Exactly.
You'd be the next Chris Rock or
Absolutely.
whoever.
Come to the show. Might be you.
There you go. Your dreams can come true. 1 out of, 250? What does that room hold?
Yeah.
It's a pretty big room. So we were talking a little bit in the break. You recently made a pretty big move that I think anybody that's a stand-up has at least pondered once upon a time.
That's right.
But you recently moved to the Big Apple.
The Big Apple,
you're
as
in
it's
New York.
known.
You're in New York City now doing stand-up. And how long have you been there?
I've been there. I'm coming up on a year.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And I haven't been attacked on the subway yet, so there's that. I'm having a good time.
Have you
there.
attacked anyone on the subway?
You know, I've felt the impulse to, but no, not yet.
Okay,
not
yeah,
yet.
That's good. It's kill or be killed out there.
Yes,
It's a dangerous
yes.
place.
There's some pretty bad subway performers out there. So.
Yeah. Well, how far into the city do you live? Do you have to take a long commute to get in?
I do kind of. I'm in Crown Heights. I'm on the border of a Hasidic and a Caribbean neighborhood, so I'm the only person who looks like me within like 2 square miles. But
Yeah.
I love it. I live in a studio apartment. The day I moved in, somebody was moving out and put a piano on the street, so I dragged a piano into my studio apartment. It takes up about half the space, but I love it.
That's awesome. Do you play piano, or are you going to teach yourself since you have a piano? You have to learn.
I didn't really play piano before, but I was so pretty and I like making music, so I've been teaching myself slowly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
I found a piano on the street over here, and I was playing in public earlier, and I think it probably annoyed some people, but if you heard that was me. So.
Okay. Well, there.
My comedy's better, I promise.
There you go. How long before you incorporate the piano into your act and just?
I don't think I ever will. I want to keep it separate. I need an art form that doesn't. I don't rely on to pay my bills. And
Well,
I
there
think
you go.
piano's that.
All right, I dig that. I dig that. So, how much is your career change moving out to New York? Like, has it been just one of those things where it has give yourself a challenge to just kind of improve your art, improve what you do, or is it there are more opportunities?
Yeah,
out there?
it definitely feels like kind of being called up to the big leagues. I've been working at the Comedy Cellar, which has been crazy. I'm constantly on lineups with like some of my favorite comedians, and there's a crazy amount of pressure there, especially since I'm like the young, new, unknown guy on those lineups, like relative to those lineups. So I have to be the one who gives the crowd like my best stuff ever, so like the legends can like work on their jokes after me. So
well, I mean, you can't say that you've been performing in front of legends without dropping some names. I mean, that's half the fun of
I
it,
got
right?
off stage at the new joke show the other night, and Louis C.K. was standing there and gave me some props before going on. So.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that's
that
pretty
was a
awesome.
cool moment.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
definitely.
else? Who else have you met? Come on.
I mean, I'm seeing like everybody, Sam Morril is always there. Aziz Ansari is performing a lot, and Dan Soder, who's one of my favorites. There's just really, literally any comedian you can name has stopped by there, and that's their favorite club. So it's an honor to be there. After Helium, Portland,
Obviously,
of course. Yes.
obviously. Well, I spent some time in L.A. I mean, how would you compare the difference between the comedy scene in Los Angeles compared to New York?
Comedy scene in Los Angeles, it has lots of friends, not a lot of stage time. So that's
Yeah.
the biggest difference. Yeah, I think
just fighting, because you're fighting every actor, every writer,
That's
every
exactly
singer, every prom
Yes.
king, prom
Yes,
queen.
and famous comedians. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
not a
yeah,
lot
on
of
top-
spots
on
to
top of that.
go around. So yeah, but I love Los Angeles. I have no shade towards it. I love the weather and my family out there. I kind of hate driving, but other than that, it's like one of my
You don't have to
favorite
drive. You don't have
places.
to drive in New York, so
I don't have to drive.
Yeah.
And I got in a couple at-fault car accidents in Los Angeles, so my car insurance was like my biggest expense, and it was definitely a motivating factor to get out of
Well,
there.
there you go. Did you go by yourself and just pick up and go, or did you grab
yeah,
some friends?
I did. So I went out there alone. I kind of like to take big leaps like that. I don't really have family in that part of the country. I've got like a couple cousins there, which I'm very grateful for. But for the most part, I'm out alone, and I'm 32, which is a hard time to like pick up and make a new life for yourself.
Yeah.
So, but I'm really loving it. I have no regrets. It's awesome.
We're talking with Orion Levine. He's going to be at Helium Comedy Club tonight, tomorrow night, 2 shows both nights. If you want to get tickets, go to heliumcomedy.com. And with the move, have you found yourself easier, harder to write? If you like you said, you have to be on every night, especially if you're at the Comedy Cellar. I'm sure there's other rooms where you can go and try some stuff out. Has it been better or more challenging for your writing?
I think that you experience more life in New York, and I think life is what we write about. So I'm constantly experiencing new things, and it's definitely influencing like what I want to talk about on stage. So I always see crazy things. I'm like, I want to write about that, or like that makes me think of like this, or just weird situations. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love New Yorkers. Everyone is so wild and crazy. I was on the platform and one of the trains like wasn't showing up, and it said it was coming, and then a lady like took it upon herself to like call the attendant, got all this information, and just informed the whole station in like the meanest voice possible, but like giving us valuable information. Like, if you're waiting for the D train, it's not coming. It's never gonna come. Get out of here. You're stuck down here. The city's broken. Leave. It was pretty awesome.
Yikes. Well, and the just the difference between being on the West Coast, because you grew up on the West Coast, right? Bay Area?
Yes.
Okay.
Berkeley, California.
Okay. Oh, Berkeley. So going out to the East Coast, people are a little bit more abrupt out there.
For
It's
sure,
very,
yeah.
very direct. Did you find
Yes.
yourself kind of changing at all being out there?
Yeah, you'd be so surprised how quickly you can go from being a nice California boy to ready to pick a fight with a stranger over something very small. So
Yeah.
and as mean as harsh as New Yorkers can be, that deep down they're definitely the nicest people. So
Really?
yeah. Well, I think that's the kind of description of that area is they act mean but are nice, and
Yeah.
then kind of the West Coast is more like act nice but are mean.
Now, I think the biggest one that you'll find, have you spent any time in the Midwest?
Yeah.
They're like dripping with kindness
I
to your
know.
face.
I can't handle it.
But then, ooh, some of the stuff
Right
they
under
say.
it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and this was unintentionally a stand-up story. When I was doing stand-up when I was younger, I remember meeting this whole group of people. We got to know the owner of the bar that we were doing the shows at, and we meet everybody, and he does like the intros to all these people for me to meet.
Yeah.
And then we go like back room with cheese curds and more fried food and whatever you do. And we're just hanging out, and then they're saying what they really think of everybody.
Yeah.
But it's so mean in the nicest
It's so
language, and it's just like your head almost explodes.
Yeah, they can
And-
only speak nice, even when they say mean things.
yeah, but like there's genuine just venom dripping off of
That's
everything
so
they
awesome.
say. So yeah,
That's
if you
so
if you ever find yourself in the back bar room in Wisconsin, you'll find
love
out the
it.
same thing.
I
So,
love to
yeah.
gossip.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been touring as a headliner? You said this is your first time in Portland at Helium, but you've been through here to just hit some smaller shows.
Yeah, so this summer is like my first big tour, I'd say. So I think I hit like 10 cities this summer, and it's kind of just been nonstop and very tiring, but I mean, all the shows have been so fun. I've done a lot of the Heliums around the country, and they always bring out great crowds. So if you're listening to this and you don't think you'd make a great crowd, please don't come, because we've been on a great run. So we don't want to mess that up. But yeah, it's been an awesome tour this summer.
That's very
This
very
is the
cool.
second to last stop. I'm in Boston too next week. So
How How is that routing? Did they think it was Portland, Maine, and then Boston, Massachusetts?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm kind of like just skipping back and forth across the country.
It gets you close to home, so that works out pretty well.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Any good stories from the road so far? Anything that's happened?
I don't know. I'm just so grateful to be just touring across America. I don't know if you know this, but I grew up overseas.
I did not know.
Yeah,
that. It says Bay Area in your bio.
Yeah.
So that's all
I grew up in Nairobi, Kenya, and
oh wow,
that was weird. Big.
Wait, was it weird though? Because you probably didn't know any different when
I
you were a
loved
kid.
it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like
I loved
looking
it.
back on it, it feels weird.
But there's things I didn't understand. Like for
Sure.
example, my parents let me join the track and field team. They just let me pursue
just
that
to be
dream.
mean.
Yeah, they didn't give me any heads up or show me any.
So
Olympic
they're comedians
footage.
too.
Pretty much,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. It was bad. I got bullied for it. Even the referee joined in. He said, "On your marks, get set, go back to America." So, yeah.
Tell me that's a true story. That would
Pretty
be
much, man.
fantastic.
I really
Yeah,
lost.
yeah,
I lost by a mile, which is saying a lot because it was the high jump, but it was tough.
Yeah, no, I get that. All right, well, we're gonna do this. We've got to do some headlines for the folks, so we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and do a segment we call "In Case You Missed It," and we'll talk more with Orion Levine. You're listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
your host, Luke Anderson.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
In case you missed it, the NFL slapped a $500,000 fine on both the Cowboys and Saints after a massive brawl broke out during their joint practice. Look, if training camp fights are going to carry a $500,000 price tag, at least you can do is get me better footage than a shaky iPhone cam through a chain-link fence 300 yards away. Can we please? The NFL is charging pay-per-view prices for world star level video quality. I don't think that is appropriate. I put on the video because I wanted to see Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart fight the entire Miami Dolphins defense, and all I got was Bigfoot-style footage caught on a 2007 BlackBerry. If you're gonna schedule joint practices, send a director with a film crew. Make it a Spike Lee joint practice. Can we do that? Is that too much? In case you missed it, the NFL formally submitted a complaint against Nielsen because they, quote, rushed changes to their television viewership membership methodology, which the league claims will have negative impact on reported sports broadcasting ratings. The nerve of Nielsen. How dare they change something right before you get into a season that never changes? How will the NFL know what to charge for ads on the Wednesday night season opener or the Thursday night Netflix game in Australia or the SpongeBob Nickelodeon Slime Time simulcast spectacular? How do they know? NFL hates unexpected changes unless it's moving a wild card game to a Tuesday to exclusively stream on an app your dad doesn't know how to use. Ridiculous. In case you missed it, Harvard just dropped a $53 million settlement for a lawsuit against their morgue manager who got caught selling stolen brains, faces, and human skin to be tanned into custom leather books. $53 million can't undo that level of trauma. But at least one victim's relative said that the settlement check will help them finally get that rare book that they were looking at buying, which is... That's the right response for that. In case you missed it, longtime New York Yankees play-by-play announcer Michael Kay raised eyebrows on Thursday by describing a 3-run inning as a, quote, offensive orgy on a live broadcast. Whoa, Michael! I know that you were joking, but kids are watching. Not all of us parents want to explain to their kids what an orgy is yet. Call me old-fashioned. But I think you need to learn some things the hard way, like at a high school Dungeons & Dragons campaign that goes way off the rails. Like that's... Isn't that how we all learned? Is that how we all learned what an orgy was? And finally, in case you missed it, the WNBA matchup between the Atlanta Dream and the Los Angeles Sparks was briefly halted at the Crypto.com arena after a fan threw a green sex toy onto the court during the third quarter. I can't believe this stupid trend is back. It's so disrespectful, not only to the WNBA and their players, but think of what you're doing to the reputation of the fine craftsmen that dedicated their lives to molding neon green rubber. I mean, it's... The good people at Fun Factory make their body-safe silicone pleasure products for love, not hate.
In my defense...
All right, that's in case you missed it. Orion Levine is with us. How do we do? Were those any of those?
I like that.
Okay, all right, so there's our silly little segment. Real quick, Casey, anything from the text line or the YouTube chats that we need to address?
Nothing that I'm seeing.
Perfect. Sorry, I have to give the people some very stupid jokes. It makes me happy.
No,
I don't know if anybody likes it, but
I love
it makes
it so
me
much.
happy.
I was entertained.
Good. Well, that's always the goal. Tell me one thing really quickly. You said that you're all in on the Little League World Series. I asked if you were a sports fan when you got here.
Yeah.
What is it about the Little League World Series? You play baseball growing up?
You know, I was really good at baseball when I was really young, and then I started skateboarding, and baseball became like really lame to me. And my parents tried to sign me up for Little League, and I threw such a tantrum that they eventually just gave up. So I kind of live vicariously through these little guys, and I love their passion, and I've been watching.
Yeah, well, it's funny because, they just put out this article. So, like, the big leaguers have started playing a game at the Little League Park. They obviously adjust the fences and everything, and you go out and they play during the Little League World Series, but they get a chance to interact with it. But the photos of the kids that played in the Little League World Series and then make it to the big leagues.
Oh, it's
one
so
of
cool.
one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
I always feel a little weird watching the actual Little League World Series.
Yes.
Especially because I don't know if you've paid attention to it, but they'll have like the arm sleeves and like the oven mitts. They're not even allowed to slide head first.
Yeah.
And those gloves to protect their fingers when you
It's
slide
all
head first.
swag.
Into the base. It's so much swag.
It's pretty awesome.
But what I haven't seen yet this year is one of my favorite things is when they pull out the interviews. Like who's your favorite player and why.
Yeah.
There's always some kid that says something just absolutely ridiculous
Yeah.
that goes viral. Those are always my favorite things.
Yes.
So I'm with you. It's got a lot of great qualities. but
Totally.
yeah.
I also love how they ask them, "What's your like dream job?" And
Oh, yeah.
most of them are like baseball player, but every once in a while you'll just get a kid who obviously just has like a weird niche interest, and he wants to be like, "I want to train dolphins."
Yeah.
Okay. Clearly, your parents are making you play baseball, and you happen to be good at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, you have to fill out a roster, so that's
Yes,
one of the things
totally.
too. But like, I don't know, when you were a kid, like, picture yourself at 12 years old. This is one thing I've always tried to avoid asking my kids is, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Because how many jobs can you really know? Like,
Yeah.
what did you want to be a pro skateboarder?
I'm ashamed to say I wanted to be a police officer when I first got asked that question.
Why ashamed?
I don't know.
It's one of the 6 jobs that you knew.
Well, to go from cop to skateboarder, it's such a, where they're like natural born enemies. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I that dream quickly faded, and then I did want to become a professional skateboarder, but it turns out I'm not athletic at all.
Yeah. Well, at what point did you decide you wanted to be a comedian?
I think that I was just always that kid in class who was such a nightmare to his teachers and such a delight to his friends. But so I think that's really where I got my training, was just in my classroom. I truly was like the class clown, but I was also so anti-authority that I think people started noticing that I was being a comedian, and they were like, "You should do stand-up. You should go to the stand-up class." And I was so anti-authority, I was like, "No way, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do." And then now I like wish I took their advice, because I'd be like 10 years deeper.
Yeah. So when did you start? What was it?
I
What
was-
was it that actually got you across that starting point?
My friends had like this like weird illegal DIY art gallery space in their apartment, and their apartment was
Wait, where is
this
where
is
is
in Oakland, California.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes,
Yeah.
and they definitely were like renting this place under the table. It wasn't up to code, and they had these art shows. And we eventually started hosting like a variety show open mic, and I was playing music at the time, and I was hosting the open mic, and I would write a new set for every month show. And eventually comedians started coming to the open mic, and they watched me do my opening set, and they were like, "Why don't you do comedy other places?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess I am doing comedy."
Yeah.
And so I just started going to open mics from there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
pretty wild. How old were you when you were doing that?
I was 24, so
Okay.
yeah, that was like coming up on 9 years ago.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that they always say, with the overnight success takes 10, 12,
That's
15,
exactly
20
right.
years. So
Yeah.
it's like you have to start somewhere.
Yes.
So for people that want to go and check out the show, so this is Orion Levine. He's going to be at Helium tonight, tomorrow night, 2 shows, both nights, 7:30, 9:45 tonight, 7:30, 10 tomorrow. What can people expect from your comedy? I doubt you're going to single out somebody that has a broken heart every show.
No, I've learned my lesson there. I am, I like to talk about politics. I like to talk about my family, and then I talk a lot about dating, and then there's just some really weird, absurd jokes thrown in there. And I'm actually just released a new 10-minute set. It's on YouTube if you look me up. The name of the set is called Women and African Americans, so check that out. That's the real name of it.
Yep.
And so I just got rid of 10 minutes of really great jokes. So I'll do some of those tonight too. But I'm working on a lot of new stuff that I'm really excited about. So
How do you? We talked about this a little bit in the break, but we didn't get into the details of it. How do you decide what goes online and when?
So a lot of times you just get offered to do a taping, and you have to scramble a set together. Hopefully you have like 6 months notice so you can like really put it together, but a lot of times you're not that lucky. But I'm kind of always working on a new 10-minute set that is like ready to be released, and and then it just gets added to my hour after that, and
Gotcha.
eventually I get better than those jokes were, and I stop telling them. So
Yeah.
come
Exactly.
see them now before they're retired.
They're almost on their way out.
Exactly.
Well, go and check it out. I did watch that 10 minutes. It is hilarious.
Thank you so much,
if anybody's listening, wants to go check it out, go to heliumcomedy.com. Big thanks to Orion Levine. Thank you to everybody that listened. Thank you, Lowercase. And
Thanks
of course,
for having me.
Of course. And thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.
When you're feeling in the dumps,